Yeah, hello everyone. Welcome once again. Today we're going to discuss about the introduction to Okta and overview of it. So yesterday, let's quickly recap what we have discussed. Yesterday we talked about why IAM is needed, what is IAM, how it is evaluated, what are the solutions that it provides, why it is crucial and essential for the organizations to run the business smoothly. So we covered all these topic, right? The brief introduction and its component, various solutions with real-time scenarios we covered. And today we'll talk about Okta. What is Okta, right? Yeah. So, let me quickly. And what is its architecture? Why it is leading in the market? What are the features it is having? What are the main components it is having? Let's talk about it. So, first of all, by definition, Okta is an identity, or we can say cloud-based identity as a service. So why I am saying cloud-based? Because this particular tool, IAM tool, Okta, is giving the IAM solutions from the cloud environment. So it is a cloud-based applications, not the on-premises application. If you want to use this particular tool, you no need to install anything on your local computer, nothing at all. What you need to do is you need to have a subscription, you need to have an internet connection, and once you registered into the Okta cloud-based service, then you can start using that service, right? So that is as simple as that. Comparatively, other IAM tools available in the market, Okta is very user-friendly, easy to use, and it has very good user dashboards and user designs, so that a non-IT guy also can able to log in and manage the things. So let's quickly see what are the solutions that it provides, Okta. So Okta provides SSO, single sign-on. This is the major solution, single sign-on. That means we talked about already, right? With one set of credentials, he can able to log in
Multiple applications.
multiple application, exactly. So that is the concept of single sign-on. And after single sign-on, it also provides a MFA,
Multi-factor authentication.
multi-factor authentication. Very good. Multi-factor authentication. And it provides a universal directory.
Yeah.
So universal directory is a central repository where we can store all the users information or user profiles, you can say. So that is called universal directory. And also life cycle management of a user. Life cycle management of user. What does it mean by life cycle? When the user has to be created, when the user has to be given the privileges, and when the user has to be deprovisioned or removed or deactivated from the system. So that is the life cycle management.
So can we say that joiners, movers, and leavers?
Yes.
So someone who is joining initially, he will have an identity, and with that, he'll get the credentials. And someone who is moving into a different teams, he will be, I mean, given credentials based upon his designation and the role changes what happened. and if he is leaving the organizations, he will be his entire identity and the credentials will be revoked or terminated.
Exactly. So there are mainly three phases we can say. When the user is created, that is creation is one phase, and after the user is created, what are the privileges that we are assigned to that user, what kind of user he is. So that will happen, that is second phase. And once the user left the organization, we have to deprovision that user from the system so that he will not have access to any of the application. So these are the three main phases we can say, and that we can handle through Opta in a automated way. We'll talk about it in detail. But now you have to remember that what are the solutions that it is providing, right? So single sign-on, MFA, universal directory, where user profiles can store. It is a central repository we are saying, and lifecycle management, and we can have workflows. We can have federation, right? And it has one more feature called skim. Is all the features it is providing. We'll talk about in detail with skim, don't worry.
Yeah.
So these are the features of the Okta, the main features we would say. And what are the components of it? So mainly we call it, before we get into the components, let's understand what is a AAA in IAM, right? AAA concept is very important. What is AAA? One is,
Authorization, authentication, administration.
yeah, two is correct. The third one is audit.
Audit. Okay. Sir, I don't know, I mean, whether it's correct or wrong, but I have seen in multiple things, they say that authentication, authorization, audit, or sometimes accounting.
Yeah, audit, accounting actually both comes under same category.
And
So basically, you want to see who are accountable for doing what action.
okay. And sir, they even say IEEE, no sir? Identity, authentication, authorization, audit, and accounting.
Yeah, we can say.
Okay.
So basically, actually, accounting in the sense, so what is the each user account is doing the performance, what kind of level access he is having, whether that access is really needed or not. So all this will comes under audit and accounting only. So these are the three main pillars we can say: authentication, authorization, and audit. These are the main three pillars of a IAM solutions, right? So this Okta covers all these three. And coming to the groups, right? Components, let's say Okta component. Now, Okta, we are saying Okta is acting as a digital security guard. Let's suppose, if you take one example, you are you have to onboard into a flight, right? So what you will do first, you will get into the airport and you will show your passport, right? The passport will be your identity, and the authority, airport authority, first to check your identity, your passport, and once the authentication is successful, you have to show your boarding pass.
Yes.
That is the access, whether you are eligible to board into the flight or not. That will be decided. So that is the example normally we given, so that we can relate the topic. Both passport is a identity of yourself, and the boarding pass is the access level what you are having. So coming to the Okta components, we have various components available in Okta. So let's see one by one, right? Let's see one by one what are the components we have. See here, Okta key components is one is users.
Resource.
Yeah, that is the main component. It could be individual people who need to have access to the application. But generally, what is the information that comes as part of users? Suppose I have one users available in my system, Okta system, and generally it will have username, first name, last name, email address, uh, what else? Designation, let us suppose. Role details, what kind of role he is having, what is the group that he belongs to. So generally, all these information which comes under user details, each part we are calling as a attribute of a user. So entirely these combined together, we call it as a user profile. A. And each part we are calling as a user attribute, because username is an attribute, first name is an attribute, last name, email address, all these are the attributes actually. So each organizations maintain different attributes. It's not like every organization maintain the same attributes. No, each organizations maintain as per their requirement. They maintain different attributes, whatever needed for that organization to maintain user profiles. So the first component of a Okta is users. How many types of users we have within Okta? Let's talk about. In general, in an enterprise, we have employees of that organization. So these are called as a internal users,
Internal.
employees of that organizations. Yeah, and we have we have customers, we have partners, vendors.
Yes.
So all these three comes under external users.
Sir, we can even conclude as third-party application users, no, sir?
No, applications is the same enterprise only,
Ah,
but the user, they will also have to access the applications, right? Suppose as an employee, I will log in and do some transaction within the application, and as an external client, he has also have to have access to perform some actions. So the external users also need to have the access, but as a IAM solution provider, you should maintain both internal users and as well as external users. What kind of access levels that you can have for the internal users, and that is your employees or workforce. For external users like customers, partners, vendors, for all these, what kind of uh, a level of access we should have. So this is decided by um, our own Okta tool, right? This is one kind of component. And the second component is, let us talk about groups. So this is the same example generally we give actually. Suppose if you are belongs to a VIP club group, normally in a club membership, if you belong to VIP club, you automatically get a access to the VIP long special events and the premium services. And if you are belongs to sales group, you automatically get access to the Salesforce, sales report, and customer databases. So based on the group, you will have a special privileges. So we maintain groups also within Okta. This is also one of the component. Based on the group level access, we will give to our users. And the third component is applications. The software and services that the user need to access. Suppose within the organization, you can have different kind of applications, right? Like some organizations have 20 applications, some organizations have 50 applications, and some of the major organization can have 200 applications also. Right? It is based on the organization type. Will have the different type of applications. To access to integrate those applications into the Okta, we need to have the application integration has to be happen, right? Suppose you are onboarding all the applications of some XYZ organization. Let us suppose this organization having 50 applications, and all these 50 applications has to be integrated and authenticated and accessed through Okta only. So what you need to do as an admin guy, you need to
Integrate all the applications.
integrate all the application, 50 applications within Okta tool.
So that means, sir, so that means it could be any type of application. It could be SaaS application, it could be internal application, it could be a cloud infrastructure. So we will integrate all the applications to that particular user, and we will provide the access to those all applications.
That's correct. Yeah. For all the three types of applications, we integrate, either it could be a SaaS application, legacy application, on-premises application, or cloud infrastructure-based application. All these applications we have to integrate.
So what is SaaS application? SaaS, what is SaaS?
SaaS is a software as service that is running on the cloud. So that service is hosted on the cloud environment, and we can directly, if you have the subscription to that, you can directly access and start using that application. That is a cloud based application. Basically, we talked about, right, yesterday, what is a cloud environment, what is an on-premises environment. So SaaS is a cloud environment application.
Sir, one more question related to second. So you have had the groups, no, sir. So groups in the sense, so in the organization there will be certain type of groups like compliance, then HR, then IT infrastructure, then this what do you say? Business operations. So can we relate like that, or it is completely different?
No, group actually, it's a bit similar what you told. Actually, there will be different groups within the organization, and we have to segregate the groups based on what kind of activity they will perform. Suppose if you take a HR group, right? HR groups having different activities, right? And
Yes.
within HR group, there will be different users.
Yes.
So within that, we will segregate different groups with the HR department. This is a department actually.
Okay. So in the HR department, we can say like this, like payroll, then recruiting, then someone who is dealing with the compensation, someone who is dealing with only news articles related to the company, like publisher.
Correct. That is the same thing actually. Within the HR department, there will be different groups.
Okay. So it could be related to groups are related to a functions, business function.
Correct. We can say that. Yeah. It's a business function, what kind of activity they are doing on a daily basis.
Okay.
Right. So that is the applications we need to integrate to Okta. And the fourth component is directories. So normally, as we mentioned, as the evaluation of IAM has started happen from 2002 to 2010, right?
Yes.
This is the period where they have started implementing the IAM. So all the applications stop earlier before this period, actually early 2000, they used to have the user credentials stored into the DB database of that particular application, each application database. Now they started using the IAM. They implemented the IAM solution and they started using Active Directory. So directory is a repository where you can store all the user profile information, right? Nikhil, actually, you can have all the questions. We can have it at the end of the session because others are getting disturbed.
Yeah.
So yeah. My humble request is to keep yourself in mute, and if needed, we can have the QA session in the last. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much for understanding. So directories, we have like Active Directory, which is a Microsoft product, and the LDAP directory also one service. HR system like Workday. This is where most of the people are familiar with HR systems, right? HR system is also one repository where all the user details are stored within the system. And the Active Directory, AD generally will call. This is a product of Microsoft. And we have LDAP also. So all these are directories. So the applications which is already having IAM solutions, all these are stored in either of these directories. Either it could be HR system, AD or LDAP because they are already maintaining the user profiles. Now, since company or organizations want to have a Okta IAM solution in place, they don't want to have the traditional approach like how they used to have. They need to have the integrate all these directory, whatever they're having, into a Okta IAM tool. So to integrate has to happen between a AD to Okta. So that means Okta will act as a central repository to store all the information. So even though you are already using AD, what we will do is we pull all the users on a daily basis. Suppose they are having some applications which is already tightly coupled with the AD, and those user has to import into Okta. We will schedule, we'll do the integration between Okta and AD, which is essential. So that is the source for us to get the users in the organization. And once we integrate and we test the integration successfully, and we'll schedule one time when these users has to be imported in Okta. So we have one of the component called universal directory within Okta. This is our directory, Okta directory, we can say universal directory. So within this universal directory, we pull all the users from AD on a daily basis, and Okta maintains all the user details within the system. So Okta act as a central repository. That is one of the principle of IAM. Even though if you have different sources for the users, we have to pull that users by performing a integration. That we will do in the next class, how we can integrate the Active Directory integration. Yeah, Suchit.
Yeah, one question, sir. Uh,
Yeah.
AD is it application directory or is different?
AD is a repository actually. AD is a
Okay.
user repository where the organization normally maintains all the user profile details. Not only user profile details, their devices and other related like printers, their networks, all these information they used to store in a place called Active Directory. I will show you how it looks like and how to install the Active Directory, right? Normally, it can't be installed into our local machines because Active Directory need to have a Windows Server machine, and within the Windows Server only we can install this Active Directory.
Okay. It includes
And
all
tomorrow-
user information.
Yes, all the user information of that organization will be stored in Active Directory. And now what we are doing, we are pulling this user information into what? Okta. Since Okta is our IAM solution now. Now you want to have the Okta in place so that all the authentication and authorization happen through Okta only. Now you are replacing a traditional approach to a latest digital security guard. That is what we are saying, right? To protect our applications and organization data. So this is act as a digital security guard so that we can have one central repository. So for that reason, we are pulling the details from the user. So we will be having different sources of user information that Okta can connect to. That is the main purpose of having this component within Okta. And apart from this, we have certain policies, right? Like MFA for all admin users, block access from unknown countries, allow Salesforce access only during business hours, require password change every 90 days. All these are policies that we can configure within Okta as per the business and security standards. So that policy components also we will see in the going forward classes, how to configure the policies. And multi-factor authentication. Once the user is authenticated, the user has to give one more evidence to the system. Either it could be a OTP or it could be a verification code, right? It could be anything or push notification in your mobile. All these comes under a multi-factor authentication. Why we are calling a multi-factor authentication? You can configure this MFA option in Okta so that either one factor or more than one factor you can configure. One factor means only one extra proof that you have to validate. Suppose OTP, username, password first initially you will give. After the user is authenticated, it will ask for the OTP, MFA, and you will give the OTP which is received to your mobile, and that is done. You will have, suppose you configured only one MFA configuration, then OTP is sufficient enough. Suppose you configured one more MFA, like verification code, which is received to your email address. So then that verification code also you have to provide. So more than one factor you are configuring, that option available in MFA. You can either configure one factor or multiple factors based on the business need. So that configuration also, that solution also available in Okta tool. And these are the some of the main components of Okta. So before we get into the architecture, let's understand the real-time scenario, right? So that we can relate to the concept. Let us assume Sarah is a bank employee at National Bank and she is a loan officer. So every morning she comes to the banking and do the core banking system to process loans. She access Outlook, Salesforce to track the customer relationships. She uses Teams to attend the Teams meeting, and the compliance portal for regulatory reporting. All these applications she uses as a bank employee to perform her job. So without Okta, what would be the scenario? Sarah would need to remember 5 different usernames and password to log in into the each system, and it would need to manage her access 5 different places. So that is a hectic task, right? With Okta, what is the convenience you will get? Sarah logs in once at 9 a.m. when the office hour starts, and Okta automatically gives her access to all 5 systems when she clicks any of the applications. Suppose she log into the Okta applications initially, and once the Okta application she logged in, she will be presented to a dashboard where she having different tiles of the application. Suppose 5 applications we are talking about, right? One tile is for core banking, one tile is for Outlook, and one is for Salesforce, and one is for Teams. These are the application tiles. So log in once. This is the Okta system. She logs in. She see the dashboard. Suppose she want to access the core banking. Then she clicks this tile. Immediately she will be allowed to log in this application. And after that she comes back and she want to access now Outlook. She clicks this tile, Outlook tile within the dashboard of Okta. She will be logged into the Outlook, and similarly Salesforce, Teams, and compliance portal. All these tiles will be visible. This is that much easy for the end user, whoever performing the daily operations.
So now it is comes under SSO, single sign-on, right? It's like
Yeah, that is the SSO, single sign-on feature.
okay.
So basically, we are giving the not only single sign-on. Once she logged in, allowed logged in, what kind of access level she is having, that's also comes into picture. And whether it is a group level access or attribute level access, all these factors are involved, different concepts. So single sign-on is the one of the main feature, and it has other features also, like we discussed. And after this, another example also there, right? So let us say Johnson's works in a hospital. At 11 p.m., he tries to access the patient records from the hospital computer, right? That is the scenario. He want to check the latest report of the patient, how is condition, what are the blood sugar levels, what is his blood pressure level, all those he want to check at 11 p.m. So immediately what Okta will do is, it will check whether Johnson is having username password which is valid username and password or not. That is the first check Okta will do. And the second check, is he accessing from hospital computer or not? That is second check Okta will do. The third check is whether he is scheduled to work tonight or not, in today's date night or not. That is third check. And the fourth check is, does he have the patient access permission? Because each patient is assigned to different doctors in the hospital, right? So does this doctor have the patient access permission or not? So all these policy engine will work here. So that means access is granted automatically. If any check failed, access would be denied and it would be notified to the reporting system. So all these checks you will configure based on the organization need, and this policy engine will work behind the scene whenever the user tries to access the patient record. That is how that Okta will work as a digital security guard. It is protecting your applications and as well as your sensitive data, because data is the asset for the organizations or business, right? So for that reason, Okta is playing a crucial role. And now let's move on to the next topic. Yeah, before we get into the hands-on, let's understand how the architecture works in Okta. So this is the basic architecture of Okta, and within the Okta IAM tool, there will be different users we talked about, right? One is external user, internal user. These are the type of users who will access the application. So once they try to access the application, let us assume app 1, app 2 are the applications which external user is trying to access, then that request, HTTP request, will redirect the request to the Okta tenant, because Okta is playing a digital security guard role, right? So Okta will come into picture whenever the external user is trying to access. It do the authentication and authorization, both AA Okta will perform. See here, and once the user is authenticated, app1 lifecycle workflow will follows. What kind of policies he should have, what kind of access levels he should have, right? If any suspicious activity reported, then it will trigger a notification to notification engine, and that notification will be stored into the reporting DB. Similarly for app 2 also. And the same case here, if you see for internal users also. But here internal user tenant will come into picture. Here external user tenant will come into picture. What is a internal tenant? What is a external tenant? We will see, because there are two tenants available in Okta. One tenant will handle the external users and one tenant handle the internal users. Let's say these are the internal users are the employees and external users are the customers, vendors, or third-party suppliers. Anything it could be. And if you see this diagram further below, see here, this is a active directory. We told, right, this is the source of the information for the users. So in this active directory, we are pulling the information into the Okta universal directory. So what is the needed to pull this information? There is a component called Okta Active Directory Agent. So this is very important to pull the information of users from AD to Okta. We will see how to install AD, how to install Active Directory in the coming classes. So in a nutshell, this is the overall architecture of Okta. And if you see what are the main components of this architecture, I have mentioned in the below here. One is identity provider. So Okta will act as an identity provider because it is a trusted resource that verifies who you are, like a passport example which we discussed earlier. And the second is applications. There could be various applications of the organizations which we have to deal with. And third is users, groups, policies. We already have a word on each component. These are the key components. Let's get into some hands-on now. How to log into the application, right? Every Okta tenant will provide a free tier actually. So 1 month of free trial you can have it, and that is sufficient enough for us to learn and play with this tool. So I request each one of you to register in the portal. For that I will give you the steps, set of instructions how to go, where to register and what you need to give the details at the time of registration. Let's get into the steps. What are the steps involved to register? For this, let me open this document. And like yesterday, today also I have given some generic questions what you will get about Okta. Right? These questions you have to go through on a daily basis. Why to choose Okta over other IAM tools? These are the interview questions also. Enterprise focused, rich ecosystems, life cycle automation, adaptive authentication, strong admin UX. That means very user friendly to do the admin operations and development activities. All these, what are the unique features of Okta not typically available in any other tool? This also they will ask to test your Okta knowledge. So you can mention these things. These are the real-time questions they will ask. Are there any unaddressable drawbacks also there within Okta? Right? What would be the pricing model for Okta? What would be the Auth0 and the Okta platform? What is the Okta integrator? These are some of the advanced level questions, but since it is an introduction, it is better to have clarify all these questions which may comes during the interview. We'll go in depth going forward in the coming classes. What does it mean? Now let us see what is a Okta developer free edition. How to sign up for that. So this is the URL https developer.okta.com/sign up. So we need to go here. Let me open this in a URL. See here, there are two platforms it is showing, Auth0 platform, Okta platform. This is actually for external based customers, tenant, external user tenant, and this is a internal user tenant. So let's first complete this Okta platform. So you need to click on the right side option, Okta platform free trial. So this is the option which you need to click. So click on the try Okta platform. And once you come here, what are the details you need to mention? Your first name, last name, and your work email. If you have the work email, you mention that work email, phone number, and country from which you are operating. So we are from India only, right? So you select as a India. So once you give all these details, you can use this environment for 30-day trial. So I think I already have a free account. Let me quickly show you how the Okta dashboard looks like. So for that, I need to open that link. Yeah, this is my Okta tenant URL, which I registered as a user. Let me open it. So the session, if the session is active, it will directly allow me to the dashboard. Since my session is not active, it will ask for the username. I believe this is my username. So let me check. I will give next. Password. Verify. I forgot about. Oh yeah. Try. I think I forgot the process. No worries. We'll do one thing. We'll create a new user account. Let's say Sadik Tech Solutions. And then I will give the working email address. Let's say info@sadiktechsolutions.com. This is my working email address. And this is my mobile number and country. I need to click on this option. And before I click on the start free trial, let me log into my email so that I can give the activation option. .com. I've logged into my email inbox. Now let's go back here, and now let me double check all the details. First name, last name, email address, mobile number. Yeah, everything seems to be fine. Clicking the start trial. Finish. So it is setting up the environment. You are ready to go. Check your email to begin. So let's go back to my email. Refresh it. See here, recently received activate email. Now I need to click on this activate account. So I'm clicking that. And after this, you need to mention the security method, right? For that, you can choose a password for an account. So let us first set up the password. So there should be some rules. 8 characters password, a lowercase, uppercase number should be available within the password. So let us say this is my password. And then click next. Save. And once you give your password, you need to verify the this is actually a two-factor authentication, right? The second factor authentication also you have to give. So Okta Verify is an app available in Play Store also, and for Apple users in Apple Store also, right? For iOS users. So for both Android and iOS, Okta Verify will be available. What you need to do is just go to the Play Store of from your mobile and type Okta space verify. It will show the Okta Verify app. You need to install and keep that app open, right? Once you click on the setup, let me take my mobile and open the Okta Verify app since I have already installed the app in my mobile. And once you click on the setup, there will be a plus icon on the top right within that app. You need to just click on that plus icon and scan from our mobile, just like a UPI payment you do, right? Similarly, you need to scan the code. So this is the code it has generated. I am clicking the plus icon from my mobile. I will say organization. And yes, ready to scan. I am scanning. Enable. I am clicking on the enable button. Now done. The scanning part is done from my mobile. See here, whenever you create a new Okta tenant, it will create a name like this. If you see here, trial-4001257-admin. This would be the tenant for your Okta. And you need to remember this URL. HTTPS trial hyphen. So better you bookmark it or store it somewhere in the pad. It is starting first time, right? So it will taking time. So first time it will ask choose the apps that you are most important to integrate. These are the apps that you will integrate. So Active Directory, Office 365 needed for me. Let's say Zoom. So whatever the apps needed for you, you need to select in the first step. Google Workspace, Slack. What else we use in my organization? Let's say Dropbox for the storage. So I will select all these.
So these are all cloud-based application, right, sir?
Yes, absolutely. All these are the cloud-based application. No, not all. See, if you see Active Directory, that is not a cloud-based actually. This is an on-premises application. I'm just letting me know that to the Okta system that what would be the my most important applications to integrate. So this is a generic question it is asking. So later also you can integrate, but in the starting of the application, it will ask what would be the most important so that it can have that applications ready for you to integrate. You have to click the next and then within that application, what are the features that you are most interested in? So single sign-on, automation and workflows, multi-factor authentication, authentication capabilities, identity governance and administration. We'll select all these whichever needed. And then click next. What do you want to solve with Okta? If you don't want to give, just click on the done. Now you are logged into a Okta dashboard. This is the admin console of Okta. Right? This is a dashboard. What are the options available for admin? Let's explore one by one. This is the dashboard, directory, customization, application. These are the menu options: security, workflows, reports, and settings. These are the main menu we can say for the admin console. So within dashboard, we will see this is my dashboard actually. It will say number of users added, number of groups added, SSO applications, what is integrated, right? What are the Okta services, operational agents. Suppose if you are already installed agents like AD agent, those details it will show here. And as a admin, Okta admin, what are the tasks that you have to do? The immediate task it is saying is assign the super admin role to some other users because you are a super admin user, and assign this role to some other user also, so that if you face any issue with your user account, at least one backup admin should be available to take care of the admin activities. So it is suggesting me to assign the super admin role to one more user. That is the task it is giving. Like this, it will give the various tasks what we need to perform. And the security measures also, dashboard also, it will show 10 out of 18 tasks completed. And this is the list it is showing. And app authentication protocols. What are the app authentication protocols that you have used? SWA, SAML, OIDC, these are the authentication protocols which we'll discuss in detail. What is SAML, what is OID, and what is a SWA. But it will show the total apps category wise based on the authentication protocol. So this is a Okta admin dashboard. And if you want to check individually task, it will take you to the task list, right, where you can see the task. If you want to see the agents, it will take you to the agents page. And similarly, if you want to see the notifications, what kind of notifications I have received, you have to click on the notifications as well. And it will give the getting started guide also. Since you are new to Okta, I request you to just go through this documentation. It will be really helpful. Now, this is all about the dashboard menu. Now, let's see the directory menu also. Suppose you
Sir,
want
one
to have
question.
the...
S-
Yeah,
Sorry to interrupt.
no problem.
Is Okta supports only cloud-based applications or non-cloud-based applications also?
Okta supports both cloud-based application as well as on-premise applications and legacy applications also.
Okay.
So most of the applications currently available in the market are cloud-based applications. But as we discussed yesterday, there are still 30 to 40% applications. Some of the organizations still having the legacy or on-premises application running, and because of various factors, hence those applications are still running. But we can implement the IAM solutions to those applications as well,
Okay.
and to the users of that applications as well.
Okay. So it supports both.
Yes, it supports both.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Now, let's see the second options, directory. So this is actually a universal directory. We talked about it, right? Universal directory is one of the main feature of Okta, like SSO, Okta, Universal Directory, MFA, all these features we talked about, right? So this is also one of the feature where all the user profile informations will be stored within Okta. Even the user is not available here, it is available in some other resource, let us say Active Directory or HR systems. We integrate our Okta systems with that source and pull the users from that system to Okta system. So this is a centralized repository where we can store the user informations of the organization. This is the place, and it will have the people. Suppose if I want to add a new people manually, what you will do, you need to click on the people, and then you need to click on the add person. This is the option. And once you click add person, it will ask the first name, last name, username, primary email, secondary email, group information. Suppose if you want to have the groups to be assigned, and if you are as admin, you want to set the password, you need to check this box, or automatically a email will go to the user. He will set the password, like how I set the password for myself, right? Similarly, you can have option as admin, you can set the password and give the password to the users. separately, or you can allow the system itself to generate a new password, and that password will be emailed to the user. Our activation email will go to him. He will activate the account and set the password. This is the one way to create a user in Okta system or Okta tool. There is one more method also available where you can import user. So if you go to the more actions, import users from CSV file. Suppose in general, they will organization will give you set of list of users details in the form of CSV file. So CSV file, it will have the first name, last name, all those details. You just need to click this option. Next, import users. So it will ask you to browse the CSV file, and then you can give the import users by browsing that file, and all the users will be imported. Right? And after importing, what should be the action it has to perform? Automatically activate new users, or do not create password and only allow login via identity provider. All these options will come. We'll talk about it. Since today's agenda is to go through the dashboard and the directory, so I am showing you how the directory looks like, what is the people option, what is the group option, all these details. We'll talk about one by one. And what else needed to cover today? Going through the dashboard and registering the user into a free trial. So by tomorrow, what I request you guys is you need to have this environment ready. So today's assignment for you guys is you have to register your user account details into the system by following the instructions which I will give you right away after this session. So you need to browse this URL and then give the user information, right, and register yourself. And please keep that URL bookmarked somewhere else, because we are going to use that URL going forward for the next 5 weeks or 1 month, right?
Sure, sir.
Yeah. Any questions so far what we had discussed? The forum is open.
Not much question, sir, because earlier itself I have asked. Sir, just wanted to understand about OIDC and SAML, because there were those components which you have touched. So, as far as I know, these terminologies are like OpenID Connect, and the other one is security assertion markup language. Are these related to coding or something, or it's like platform?
No, actually, these are different protocols, authentication protocols we call.
Okay.
So now you are saying we need to integrate, suppose within organization, we have, let us say, 50 application, right? All these 50 applications, what is the authentication method that you are going to use? Some of the applications may support SAML, security assertion markup language, and some of the applications don't have this compliant with SAML, right? The application has to comply with SAML, then only we can integrate using SAML protocol. Some of the application don't support SAML. So for that application, what we can do, we can use OIDC.
Okay.
This is the protocol. And some of the application we may use SWA.
What is SWA, sir?
We'll talk about in details. Now it is too early stage. I don't want you confuse you. We'll talk about when we have to use SAML, when we have to use OIDC, and when we have to use SWA. We'll talk about in detail. And if the authentication method is SAML, what is the approach to integrate that SAML based application? And if it is OIDC, there could be different navigation steps we have to do. That we'll talk about, and what are the details we needed, what are the endpoints, because sometimes we may have to configure the application details. For that, we need to collaborate with the application team, because those details will be having from with them only. What is the endpoint, like assertion ID? What would be the assertion ID? What would be the ACS URL, assertion consumer URL? So all these details we have to gather from the application team as a Okta admin or developer or Okta owner. So as a IDP owner, I need to collect all this information with application team. So you need to closely work with the application team to get the details. So before integrating any application, you need to work with that application owner team or application support team.
Okay, so which means, I mean, based on the application, what type of authentication protocol they are using, based on that we need to do so. And for each and every application, there will be some sort of authentication protocol, which we ideally need to know before we are consoling all the applications.
Exactly. So during the assessment and designing phase, your architect will decide what type of protocol has to be used. So it's a job of architect who will decide. So initially, before onboarding applications, lot of assessment will be done, and lot of planning also they will do. Design, impact analysis. What will be the impact if you onboard that authentication protocol? So all this will be done, and finally they'll come to a conclusion to onboard the application. They'll fix a date, and they will ask developer or admin guy or whoever the Okta team member to do that activity, and your responsibility to perform that action. That's how it works. And if suppose if authentication you imported integrated that application into Okta, and now all the users you enforced to access the users by using Okta tool only instead of the earlier authentication method which they were using, and they have to log in with Okta credentials only now. Suppose if they unable to log in that application as a admin guy, what are the troubleshooting steps you need to perform? That also I will show you, because your job is not done with the integration only. Some of the projects you need to look for the ongoing access issues of users also as a admin, Okta admin or Okta team guy. Such activity also we have to take care, and how we have to check the logs, what are the various areas we can investigate. Those parts we will cover during the troubleshooting class.
Okay.
So my request is, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. In Okta components, as you discussed, audit and component accounting. So
Yeah.
audit and accounting, is it comes under user access review of the application, or
Yes.
is there anything else?
No, actually, they will conduct the audit to monitor how secure their system is, what are the mitigation risks involved in it, whether any suspicious activity is going on, whether all the policies, the systems adhering to the security compliance or not, right? There are some various standards available, security standards. For that purpose, they will do the audit to make sure that the system is secure.
Okay, this will be doing by IT team, IT support.
Yeah, there will be a third party team actually, uh, which will be doing the audit. We don't do the audit for our own systems. They will come and do the audit. But I have to make sure that the system is compliance with the audit standards or not, right? The security standards or not.
Okay, 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 sir.
Any other questions? So earlier to register your free account, trial account into Okta, earlier they used to allow your Gmail account also, but now during recent changes they have restricted that to only organizations email. That means any Yahoo, Gmail, Outlook email domain will not work to register. So you have to have your business email account. If you don't have the business email account, then I can help you out. You just ping me offline. I will for 1 month. I can create you an account so that you can practice.
Okay, sir.
Sir, it would be great if you can provide so that we can, because I have restricted access with the work email.
Got it. Got it. So whoever need to have the business email account, just give me your first name, last name, and what should be the desired email address for you. I will give you the credentials.
Sure.
That
Sure.
Sure, sir. We'll see.
Sir, will
Can you provide like temp mail also is there in Google? Can you type in temp mail in any tab? They provide any business mail. So many business mails is provided.
sorry, Satish, I couldn't get your question.
Oh, in Google they provide temp mail is there. Can you type another tab temp mail? TEMP
TELP,
TEMP MP
TMP, yeah.
MAIL TEMP E for elephant T
TMP,
mail, yes, temp mail.
temp mail. Okay.
Can you open that?
Temporary mail.
Oh yes, yes. First one, can you open? Here provided business mail. Anybody use?
Okay, okay. Okay, great. This is the alternative providing. Thank you, Satish, for your help.
Yes.
This is the temporary email. How long this will be used? Satish? 1 month?
No. Actually, it is 1 month. But it is no problem. Every time it will be loaded here. This one only. If you don't want means, then we can here delete option is there. No, you can try that one. If you see any inbox messages, can you come down? Here we have get the mails.
Okay, and this will be each and every time new email address creates.
No. Every time get this mail only. But if you want to change means, then we can do delete option is there. No, copy, refresh, change and delete. We can try delete. Better we can save the other email address.
One of the good alternative actually. Yeah, this will accept by Okta, this domain, without any issues. So this is the alternative. Yeah, you can use this one as well. Like having this temporary email address. Make use of the same thing. And if you want to check the email address, there is a inbox in the down. So basically, this application providing a service to have the temporary email. That is one of the good service, I believe. Yeah, you can try this option as well. And if for in case any this option doesn't work for you, then just let me know through WhatsApp. I will do the needful, whatever needed. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, sir. Sir, but in this particular application, how to see the mails and all that? Because we'll get the OTP and all that, no?
So here it is a inbox is there, right? It is have. That is what Satish told. Yeah, it is empty. Once you receive the activation email, you can check here your emails. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Good. Fine, guys. If you don't have any further questions, we can call it a day and we can see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much for all your time.
Thank you, sir.
Good night. Good night.
Goodbye.